Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. I'm the Magi and this is Midweek Magic. The format, forgive me y'all, for some of you I'm about to say a dirty word. That's right, this week we're playing Alchemy. And I did a primer. I don't always do a primer for Alchemy, but because of the rotation and things like that, a lot has changed in the format. And I do think there is a good amount to be aware of and thinking about that might potentially, dare I say, change the way people think about alchemy. I'm not saying it should, I'm not saying that it will, but at least make yourself aware, consider the options, and know what is and in some cases is not going on in the alchemy format at this point. Now, in that primer, I also speculated that this might be an all-access event. It is not. So you do have to play with cards you actually own. Yesterday, for Meta Monday, I did a meta breakdown for Alchemy Best of One, and you can check that out right here on the channel as soon as we get done here, potentially influence some of the decisions you make before going into the Midweek Magic event yourself. But one piece of information that we did not have at that time was the rebalancing that was done for the Alchemy. And the main thing, and I actually kind of called out the Arena team for not having done this at the time that I did the Meta Monday stream. The fact that they had not rebalanced Cori-Steel Cutter. Apparently they watched my stream and they heard me and they felt guilty and they got right on it. I'm just talking shit there. I don't think I had anything at all to do with it. But shortly after my stream was finished, they did in fact announce some rebalances here, one of which is Cori-Steel Cutter. The long and the short of it is it no longer gives a +1/+1 bonus to the creature it is equipped to, nor does it give trample. The reason being is they didn't want to completely nix this card, and they still wanted it to be part of a potential prowess archetype. We've got some other things going on here. Awestruck Signet. It was changed to whenever a creature you control with flying to whenever another creature you control with flying. So it doesn't affect itself. We also got a rebalance on a Recruit Instructor. This was obviously an attempt to kind of counteract the mostly mono red or Boros mice decks. Now, instead of being whenever one or more mice you control attacks, it is now whenever this Recruit Instructor attacks, it triggers its Valiant ability. Okay. No, excuse me, it does not trigger the Valiant ability. I did not read the card properly. Instead, it drafts a card from its spell book. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how much impact this change really has. Looking at the meta yesterday, I did not see a single deck going on in Alchemy running this mythic card. And man, what are you guys thinking about taking a mythic out of an undervalued set and actively making it worse? I don't know how I feel about that. House Meld, on the other hand, was pretty valid. This had a very corner case issue in Brawl that allowed it to remove your opponent's commander. And yeah, that was not okay. And honestly, it didn't really remove your opponent's commander. It allowed you to take control of your opponent's commander, and they don't get it back. Not cool. That's a perfectly fine change. And one I was not aware of and obviously needed to be made. Also, a change to Asoran Imperious Bloodlord. It now limits the mana value of the vampire creature card to 6 or less to just really not allow some broken interactions there. Something I've never actually noticed them doing before. They took the Ribald Shanti from last year's Alchemy stuff going on, and they reversed the rebalance on it that it did for Alchemy. So now it's only playable in Historic and Timeless, and I guess they feel like the change wasn't necessary, so they reverted back to the original card. Kind of cool, honestly. Shellfish Scholar. This one of the rats, and also Thought Rattle, a rat-related card. They felt like, and I quote, the rats in Alchemy Bloomburrow were not priced to move, meaning they were just not aggressively costed or were worse, overcosted. These improvements aim to make them more appealing as a package and strengthen their appeal in casual games and Brawl. Okay, again, when I looked at the meta yesterday, I didn't see one single rat deck, so maybe they have a point. Maybe there is a problem there. Will this change it? That remains to be seen. Let's see here. We've also got the Speed Brood Stalker. They added lifelink, and they reversed the power and toughness from 4-3 to 3-4. I mean, just adding lifelink, that's pretty clearly a power up as far as I'm concerned, and that's all the changes. So now you're 100% up to speed, and I do want to take a moment to apologize for the fact that the content is kind of spread out this week. I made a conscious decision to make a primer and the Meta Monday because I wanted to talk about two separate aspects or two viewpoints of the format, and then we kind of had this last minute 12th hour edition change here. So there's that. I am gonna go ahead and close that down there. Actually, let's do it like this instead. Yeah, let's just move that over there. So let's talk about the midweek, and let's talk about the 3 free packs. Let's go ahead and claim those up. What do you say? There it is, and I'm gonna pop those right here live on stream, and let's see what we get here. And maybe we get inspired. We did get a Val Maroon Surveyor. If you haven't watched the primer yet, go in and watch that. That does some interesting things in Historic as far as like infinite combo. Let's see, Mutable Pupa was another one that I talked about, and the Life Seed. So we did pretty good on our 3 free packs here. We got several noteworthy cards already. And how do we do on our rares? Let's see here. Ambassador of Enbendo, Simic 1-3 Insect Advisor. I'm always interested in advisors because of that. Oh goodness, what is it? It's the Advisor Mill card that you can run as many copies of it as you want to. That is always good times. So I'm always looking for new things to pair with that, even though I don't get a chance to play it nearly as much as I'd like to. Candela Aegis of Adaji. I'm probably saying that all wrong. Very, very sorry for the native speakers of the White Planet. And Cabaron Consumed. Yeah, I'm not really terribly excited about that. It is what it is. So, I mean, there's a couple things. There's Cantor of Refrain. That's another one, actually, that I had to talk about in the primer video. But overall, I don't see anything here that I'm super excited about building around. And I did actually point out 2 or 3 different decks in the Midweek Magic primer that were potential high-value decks that you might want to build. So here's what we're going to do instead, since those cards have not excited me. Instead, I am going to go and try and play, let's see, let's edit the deck here. A little deck that I'm calling Still Cut It. Because, of course, we have a rebalanced version of Cori-Steel Cutter. And since I have to play cards that I actually own, this is a deck that I pretty much own. There's our 4 Heartfire Heroes. Everybody who follows the plan should have 4 copies of that at this point. I have 3 copies of Bibi. And everything else here, outside of the mana base anyway, is uncommons and commons. So I kind of want to just throw this against the wall and see what happens. I'm not going to run any copies of Cauldron. I don't think that's really what we're interested in. I want to see what the cutter does. Excuse me, a little frog in my throat there. And of course I went with a very budget base. I'm running mostly basics here. I am running the check land because I happen to own one. Check out the primer before you craft those, just saying. We all own a Temple of Epiphany, so I'm doing that. I've got the Desert Cenote, I've got a Fabled Passage, and I've got a Starting Town. Everybody basically should have one of each of those cards. Desert Cenote is the only card in this that is specific to Alchemy, although Sulfur Falls is kind of that, and of course the rebalance cards are more so that way than any of the others. But basically where this deck list came from was the MagicCon Vegas, back when we had the Cori-Steel Cutter 42% of the format debacle. This is basically a deck list from that I just had to tweak a little bit to adjust for the rotation, as well as cards I owned versus things I would have had to have crafted. So, with all of that having been said, what do you say we get back into the midweek here, and let's just kind of see what this deck may or may not do. It might be a total failure. It's hard to say. And we are going to go right over here. Sorry, I'm doing content creator things in the background here, updating thumbnails and stuff like that now that I know what we're going to be playing and why and all that stuff. So there we go. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put that in a playlist as well. All right, so things in the background accomplished. We are 100% ready to go. So without further ado, I give you Does It Still Cutter It? I don't hate this. I really don't. And I think I'm actually going to slow roll it since our mana base is a little janky. Certainly don't mind picking that up. We're not going to attack despite the fact that I gave it haste, but it is what it is. Bam! Well, we can forget about that being a dude forever and ever and ever. Am I okay with that op? Sure. So we are not off to a splendiferous start here, to say the least. He's ramping. It'd be a shame if we bounced his dude at some point, I guess. mean, it still looks like it's doing some things here. Wow, that was a bit of a bummer. Sure, I'm okay with that. Oh, this has to be an opponent controls. That's a bit of a bummer. Okay, so we'll end the turn. No wonder I hadn't already done that. Maybe I should consider doing unsummon instead. Yeah, I think we go for the opt. Unfortunately, now we're like hand empty for Vivi. But I could get back the turn inside out and really pump Heartfire Hero. Wow, they just took the 7th. That's interesting. They got a lot of creatures down. A whole lot. Wow, that was brutal. Oh wait, I don't have 4. Just kidding. Man, he got wide there in that turn, no doubt about it. Oh, he was just done at that point, huh? Okay. All right, so we will take a win that maybe we didn't quite earn yet, but that's okay. We got Marvin Murder's Mimic. Awesome, awesome. So let's go for win number 2, shall we? So I think he's just playing straight up aristocrats, right? It's kind of what this looks like. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll take 2. That's fine. Okay. Again, another one I'm not sure we earned. Apparently people are still frustrated or impressed or scared of Cutter. So yeah, we'll take that. And we got gems. And honestly, I didn't even see what I got the first time around. I just clicked through it too fast. So let's play for the cosmetic. We'll do 3 strikes and you're out. How good is Cutter in today's Alchemy? So far, it seems pretty good. Well, that is not at all a keepable hand. I don't think that is either. This is maybe our first loss here. Okay, this is potentially doable. We will keep 5. I'm gonna throw back the Fabled Passage and pool resources. Yeah, I think that's correct. And we immediately got back pool resources. How weird. Uh-oh, he's prideful. Well, we did pull the third land at the correct time, so that's pretty decent. Yep. Ow. Man, I forgot how good that combo was, honestly. Do I care about that? I think we're gonna say no to that. Another one. He's gonna be aggressive too. That's pretty interesting. So let's kill the Blood Witch. I am almost dead. And he is just nowhere near it. I think I just killed myself off the salvagers, right? Yep. Alright, well that's one strike, just like that. And actually the first loss we've seen with this deck this evening. Alright, let's go try number 2 for the cosmetic here. Don't like it. I think we throw the Hatcher. Cenote, don't sleep on it, kids. It's real good. Maybe we draw a land and our cutter can immediately get to work. That would be kind of awesome. We did. I mean, getting it for 4 there felt pretty good. Apparently they disagreed. Yep. We were just off to such a good start. So what did we get for our cosmetic? Let's check it out. The grave liner. Okay, and we did in fact get a cosmetic for one of the new cards. That's pretty interesting. All right, so that is going to do it for the stream right now. Don't forget, on the main channel on YouTube, we've got a Midweek Magic primer for this event. We also, on the live stream channel here on YouTube, we have a Meta Monday for Alchemy prior to this release. All 3 of these videos together kind of give you a good head start on being successful in this event. What did we play? 4 games for 3 wins? That's not too bad. Using a deck full of cards that we already owned. No wild cards were endangered in the making of this video or this deck. So as always, thank you guys for being here. We will be live tomorrow over on Twitch, and we will be completing Midweek Magic on the free-to-play account, and we'll be using one of the decks that I alluded to and talked about in the primer video. And well, actually, we might do a completely new and different deck. We'll have to see. I'm going to have to give that some thought off camera. But at any rate, if you have not subbed over there on Twitch, make sure to do so. That way you don't miss the go live notifications and you never miss out on a thing. But until next time, I will see